So what we're going to be looking at today are the trends for 2020 in regard to multiple topics. And recognize that we're really doing this for the collective, everyone who's watching this. And so some things you may relate to and some not, but it should give an overall feel of what to expect on many levels. Now we're going to look at nationally. So how is the U.S. going to do overall? This is very broad, but I always like to do nationally, and then we're going to do globally, so we'll get the whole world in there. So, okay, nationally. Let's see. Let me get my little national thing there. Nationally, how are we going to do nationally as a nation how are we going to do as a nation? Okay. So as a nation, I feel that we're going to again see very clearly the moon upside down is things no longer hidden. I think that that's in the first part of the year, January, February, March, and that's coming across the board. Things are gonna be seen that we may not want to have to look at. April, May, and June, we feel insecure as a country. I think that you're gonna find that our value goes down within other nations. Now, this is a card not only financially, but how we're seen as a powerhouse and how we're seen as a light. You know, it's both sides. And so I think that you're going to see our stock, so to speak, sink April, May, and June. Now, that could also be the stock market, but it's not necessarily showing that. We didn't see that necessarily financially in that time frame. Now, it does show a big rah-ha-ha coming up over the summer months. I think that you're going to find a rise in patriotism, a rise, and this could also be going off to war. This could also be going off to war because of the cost. And it would not be, if we go off to war, especially in April, May, and June, it's going to cost a fortune. It's going to cost us a fortune in goodwill. Then here we are off trying to save the day, but I feel that by the end of the year, we've gained back some of our worth as a nation. And so I feel that it's going to be tricky between April and September, but I do feel overall we'll come on the other side. Now here's the thing. This is a card of energy, and we don't have energy. I think that there's not going to be the stomach or the backing for what we as a country are doing over 2020 in both within our borders and without of our borders. I feel that there's not going to be a lot of support. So if we do things outside of our borders, we're on our own. And we've seen that doesn't go well. I think that we'll recover. I think that we'll end up the year nationally, and it could just be because the elections are over and we've got what we've got, whichever way it goes. But we seem to pull together as a nation and say, okay, let's move forward. And so even though I feel it's going to be a rocky year nationally, I think that it's going to end up being, in the big picture, I think we're going to pull it together.